If only I had here something like the clubhouse choo-choo train.
Well, I love choo-choo trains. And I especially like saying choo-choo. Come on, everybody, say choo-choo with me. Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Oh, Professor, where is this choo-choo train?
There are train cars in the shoe garage, and there's train tracks in the shed.
Gee, it'd be fun to help the professor carry back all the snow he needs. Let's find the parts of the choo-choo train and...
Okay. Sorry, my 2-year-old was in here. All right, so I am broadcasting this to Twitch as well, but I find that for the purposes of being able to be in chat and field questions, things like that, it's easier to Discord live stream it than to try to do watch as group. I actually know when the last time. Correct. So you'll be able to see everything I do on Discord, but I will also, there we go. I will also be broadcasting it to Twitch, where I will then export it to YouTube. So I know Dontris is in an ARAM and will be here soon, but so first off, I'm actually going to pause. We are going to look at comps. So right now, they've got a fairly clear engage combo that they're going to be looking to execute, and that is going to be a charge from Varian into a taunt after level 4 with a Brightwing polymorph after it. They don't really need to lead with a Brightwing because Varian stuff is point and click, at which point you'll see the Greymane dive. The Falstad will probably try to put in some damage with Hammerang or with Lightning Rod or even with some auto attacks, but he's almost going to be more of the double soaker in this, would be my guess. As far as a Falstad, because if he goes wingman at level 1, he just pings between these two lanes, picking stuff up and then bribing these bottom 3 camps and occasionally the cheeky camp over here. Kira's going to be in the off lane against Rexar. Kira is almost designed to counter Rexar. It's not that anything is a pure binary counter, but it is going to be rather difficult for her. Now to then look at our team, we have a great set of crowd control overall between Power Slide, Scroll of Identify, even Umbral Binds, and Misha Charge, which in essence is a Power Slide itself. Rexar is not always going to be in the fights, being Dragonshire, but that is available to us. I don't actually love our choices in damage, and the one that I would probably replace would be the Maiev with a more traditional mage. If we can't do that, then I would replace the Hanzo with a more traditional auto attacker, like a Raynor, for example. Now I don't have the bans here in front of me, so it's hard to say that necessarily and what was available there, but we don't have enough melee on the enemy team that's going to be in the 4-man that I feel like Maiev is going to punish well enough. And just from a team level perspective, it's not that Maiev can't be good, but I worry that at this point there's likely other heroes that are easier to learn at the beginning and pick up. And so even if we've invested some time into the Maiev or into the Hanzo, there's a reason why Raynor is played so often in the Hanzo position. There's a reason why Jaina is so often played in the mage position, because there is a burden of execution. Oh, I thought you were saying something to me. You were saying something to somebody in. And okay. And those are all things that we can learn, right? So that's okay. Um, I would tell you, if you wanted a rotator, that maybe a Zeratul would be an easier pick, possibly even something like a Genji could rotate. But while I don't hate the invade here, one of the reasons that we don't often invade the camp on Dragonshire is that you can see here Rain intercepted it, and yeah, we're able to delay them, and yeah, it takes up a time resource. Generally speaking, that camp just isn't able to do much, and so we often will spend as much invading as they do clearing, and so it comes out to be an extremely even. Which is fine, but they don't really have a ton of trouble clearing the camp. Where our goal should be more to kill them while they're on the camp and not let them get away from the camp. I am a little bit surprised at just how much damage they took here on the wall for Falstad. So as far as Dragonshire theory, and we'll get into the comp, there's a couple different ways to play it. Now, you've described one that it is considered a very high level way to play it, which is the 1-3-1 or the 1-1-1-2, depending on how you look at it. And that is, you have an anchor top, you have an anchor bottom. In the 1-1-1-2, you even have an anchor mid, and the other two go rotating for camps and kills. You can also do a 4-man rotation, while the Bermuda Triangle here, as I call it, is a very dangerous place. If you get ahead on wave clear priority, similar to an Infernal Shrines, you can make this work pretty well in your favor. Right there, no, you're fine. And right there, the power slide onto Varian is fine, but we don't our our comp doesn't have enough burst to kill Varian right now. We would struggle with that the whole game. And Mike. Yeah, well, back to the 4-man rotation. We don't have wave clear priority. That so we have a comp issue in that case, because as far as heroes go, if Hanzo and Falstad are equal, Greymane trounces Maiev on wave clear. And yeah, with our build, we don't have wave clear, so we're gonna struggle the whole game trying to rotate because we don't have wave clear priority at all. ETC does bring some, particularly with his sevens, and any of his sevens are good at helping add to the wave clear table. But I haven't watched this whole thing, but I believe we're going to consistently struggle and constantly be behind, and it's just going to feel very snowballed in that way. Now, you are facing a team that is a lot of parts. Let me wind down the sound here a little bit. That it See, and Rexar can double soak this map, which is another way you can potentially play it. Rexar doesn't want to stand toe to toe with Kira because she'll kill either Misha constantly or she'll be able to get access to Rexar and kill him. Having the two bodies is too strong. And so if you have a better four-man bottom, you can do that. Again, for my part, and I realize it's going to be extremely natural for you to be a touch defensive on this. I don't like the Maev pick in our comp, and I'm sure you'll have times where you prove me otherwise. But if I could change anything right away, it would be the Maev pick. I think that is leaving us behind on macro, and they don't have a bad team fight comp because they get to try to blow someone up every 16 seconds. But and it can be a tough meta for him, sure, but I I think that if you want to fulfill the role of flex DPS, one thing that would be very important to you is to learn a few more mages. Because if you're telling me you really like Maev, I'm just gonna ban out Maev and choke you, and it's not gonna matter anymore. Like I will trounce you 7 ways from Sunday. So if as a flex player, one of the responsibilities of the flex player is generally to have a lot of characters that they're ready on, because your job is to be flexible, hence the name. And so that can be a little tricky. Yeah, sadly, I don't know if we get a kill here or not. Maybe we get the Brightwing. Nice dodge on that. Nice. So that one turned around pretty well for us with the counter engage. Sorry, I was changing a sound setting in the background there.
That's right. I think I called steal a camp there. I figured that would be the safest thing for the enemy team to do, so I wanted to deny that because our lanes weren't shoved.
And when we get a kill, we want to back up on this.
Yeah, normally we want structures, right? But my lane's not the lane's not pushed. I was afraid we weren't going to get anything.
Yeah, and we always want to take something of the enemies. Structures are obviously important, but we want to take something of theirs. Mm-hmm. Always. But and I'm trying to back up enough. So right here, we finish the Varian 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we started at 2016 or 8:16.
Yeah, we lost about 6 seconds from what you're counting there in decisions.
Not in decisions, but in travel time. So we just killed 2 people in the middle lane.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying the lanes aren't pushed. I don't necessarily care about this lane being pushed. If we come right here, that's 4,300 health. We can rip that down. This one is 2,700 health. We have one person, probably Hanzo, clear the wave while we're here, and while it hurts ETC to be in there and taking shots, he literally is, his kit is built around sustained damage absorption. So he pops off guitar solo and just starts whacking on this thing and keeps his armor up, and we make sure we're only getting hit by one at a time. Hanzo clears the wave. We get this whole wall. While that doesn't sound like a huge win, they are going to come here because they're going to think we're going to push in. And if they're slow, we might. But in that 6 seconds, 2 of them we travel to the wall. The other 4 we've already ripped down a tower. I love that we get this one down here. That's great. One reason... Oh, I just heard boars. Oh, Jack's dead. And Jack is out of his weight class here. And I've known Jack for a while, and I don't hate him any, but he's trying to punch up right here, and so it's hurting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he acknowledged that.
And destroy your enemies.
Yeah, a lot of the issues Jack ran into, he acknowledged. Like, we drafted Maev because he wanted me to rotate up, but he didn't really call for it. And, you know, as much as I try to look at it, it's kind of like drafting Brightwing for a Z and never calling for a Z. Like, you kind of just need to let someone know sometimes. Remember, oh yeah, we should get somebody here.
Greymane should be dead.
Yeah. Oh,
Kira's
Kira
fine
is.
too. So right there, if we break down this fight, we need to break it down one more time apparently.
Yeah,
So
that pull didn't give me anything. I think I was slowed.
Well, and you want to be careful with the pull yet anyway. So Maev, let's see, there you are, right here. Fan of Knives. We only have to get 2 heroes with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your job in this mosh is to angle yourself so that you can machine gun Fan of Knives. And let's see. Not Fan of Knives. Not Fan of Knives. Alright, so while nothing necessarily adds to the Fan of Knives, we just need to machine gun that. Just boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
263, yeah, it's going to take some time, but we melee, we Fan of Knives. We melee, we Fan of Knives, and we just hit that over and over and over again. And of the 2 targets, we know Varian's got more health. We should be, and everything's showing the fort health right now while I'm paused, or the tower health. But we just want to start clobbering Stoic, who is
Right.
the Greymane in this. The Umbral Bind is great, but we use that as they're trying to leave. It's our retreat prevention.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have comms, so I can't perfectly say everything here. But yeah, if with the Warden's Cage, if we had that and Umbral Bind just to prevent the escapes, and we had just been focusing on melee Fan of Knives, just machine gunning those back and forth, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, I think we get an additional kill in Greymane there. Now here, we're even levels. We just killed someone. We're trying to get healthy. I gotta get off of Greymane here. So Kira's been dead 10 seconds before we hit a wall, maybe more.
That's a good question. Let's see.
Alright, so she dies at 10:18, 10:19. So we'll say 10:19. We retreat 10:22.
maybe staying for that wave wasn't super important. I'm not sure. Let's see. I think we just wanted
so
the wave to
there
eat
was
damage,
a little
I guess.
bit of misunderstanding there as far as what we're doing, because we saw Rexar started to go top and then we called him back. And
Yep.
so we just
Yeah,
want
I called him back.
to build it in our heads of, because see, we had 3v5 there and we
I make a
got the
mistake right
wall.
here. Sorry to cut you off. We originally called that top camp. I should have stuck with that. The bot camp I think was a bad call because that's the safest thing for them to do, despite the fact that we have a fort and they don't. But being that we have Rexar clearing, we walk into a 4v5. So knowing we have Rexar clearing, we should have grabbed our top camp. I think it was a bad call to come down here.
Yeah, do we lose 3 here?
I think we lose just me if I'm not mistaken in the camp.
So we got a kill. The Dragon Knight is available. We killed half a cannon, or a whole wall, excuse me. We didn't kill a fort, we didn't capture the dragon, and we lost the camp. Frankly, that went as bad as it could have for us. It's unfortunate, but that's life. So in the future, we immediately, as soon as we get the kill, we send Rexar top. He captures the shrine, and the other 4 of us keep pushing in mid, because we want to make it as dangerous for the other team to contest the shrine as possible.
Was the shrine up as soon as we got that kill, or are you just saying to have him up there for when it's done?
No, it was up because they didn't cap bottom. It was already capped. Or the other way around. We had already capped bottom. They had already capped top. I gotta hit this button a few times. The Heroes replay system is
Yeah, you're
good.
probably right that it was up.
2 more. Actually, 1 more even still. Okay, so we know we're back.
You're saying that was basically just to split them so they wouldn't be as 5.
Yeah, see, this is already up. Kira is about to
Yep.
die. I think we capture the Dragon Knight for free. So if
Okay,
Rexar
so
immediately
Rexar
goes
top
here and
here.
caps, we see Falstad in the bottom, which means we should be sieging, trying to keep as much attention here as possible. Rexar caps the top, comes back down. Falstad's not likely to leave this alone because it's too big of a wave. It's got the siege giants. So he can either burn flight to get down here, or we see him in time. But we would have capped this top shrine. We would have been able to channel the Dragon Knight, and the Dragon Knight secures this middle fort for us.
Yeah, I agree.
So as the game progresses, the camps become less and less important. They will be cleared far more easily, and it doesn't matter as much anymore. That's not to say you can't make great late game plays with the camps, but right there we had a Dragon Knight on the board, and again we got the worst possible scenario out of this. We lose someone, we lose the camp, we don't get the dragon, and if I had to guess, now that they have a numbers advantage, they're gonna get the dragon. Now it's easy for them. They started down here with the one place they had to cap, and we don't have a global.
I think we ran into a couple things. I think in some of these cases we need Hanzo stalling, and he's going up there to do it. But same with the last one, and the same with this one. I think he's late to stalling it.
Yeah, and that's fine, but that's a symptom.
But that's solving a problem we shouldn't have.
Right. That's a symptom later on. If
Yeah.
our goal is to help figure out what's the stuff we can do before it becomes a problem. And so there we had the Dragon Knight free and available to us. I don't believe they would have been able to stop us. So with their Dragonite, they're going to push through. You can see it's after level 16, so they're not all that worried about soaking. Yes, you'll get to level 20, but right now opening up a win condition is way more important. Sorry, Baron, you got done punted. So we have a good counter engage out of it. Oh, Kira better die. I understand why Deckard is Hearthing, but I also hate it. Okay, so
Yeah, I was trying to talk to the team about mana
Nope.
conservation.
This is a mistake. This is a mistake. 2 of them are dead. We just capped this camp. We're letting Falstad clear it for free.
Yeah.
We retreat to safe camps. So, how are you doing, Lubidium? I just saw you in chat. Sorry, I've been watching screen 1, not screen 2. A mantra that I want you to memorize. And if I ask you this mantra and you don't tell it to me, all 3 of you are getting written up and sent to detention. I don't know what other school teacher type of things I can say. But we do safe things when it's dangerous, and we do dangerous things when it's safe. So, right there, this is our second most secure camp. It is extremely
That's very catchy,
safe.
by the way.
What was that? Sorry?
That's very catchy, by the way.
Yeah, and it's just meant to be simple. But when we're safe, and safe can be something like they blew all their heroics and we have all of ours up. Safe can be something like we just got 2 kills with 0 deaths. When it's safe, we get to do dangerous things. Dangerous things are pushing on a keep, are trying to end the game, are taking a team fight. When it's dangerous, we don't have any ults, they have ults, we're missing someone, we gotta be safe. I really don't care if you are positioned here, under the wall, or behind the wall. Ooh, I'm missing stuff here because I'm getting stuck in this mantra. I don't care if you are behind the wall safe, if that means they can't kill you when it's dangerous. It is better for you to live to see another day than to give them an opportunity. So right here, they're safe. They get the Dragon Knight. They've already softened up this wall. They might choose to do this, but with 3 of you dead, I'm pretty sure they're taking a keep. See, and I would have just left this to Falstad and just kept marching, because I want as much time while we've got 3 people dead. Falstad can clean up and either barrel roll or tailwind or full flight to get there. I disagree with the backing up here. I realize you guys just spawned, but I think they could have gotten something more than just this fort. So they're playing a little safe, and that's okay, because again, it got dangerous, so they decided to go a little safe. They have a win condition. They have a macro lead where they've got a major structure advantage in 2 of the 3 lanes. Mid lane is even, but top lane and bottom lane, they have a major structure advantage. Alright, they start to take their camp, they let Falstad finish it, and they, again, because of their superior clear, they get their camp done faster, and they're going to have this before you even get there. You can see Rain is anchoring. I need to slow this down. Dauntress, I hope you die right there, because, I mean, I never really want you to die, but that was really reckless. So I don't know if that was a knee-jerk to seeing Varian, but...
Yeah, I definitely, like, hit that. I should have not queued, and after seeing Varian, I should have just backed out.
Yeah, if you W and use your Q to get away, they can't get to you anymore.
Yeah.
And so right there, we burned an ult to save your Sari behind. Plain and simple. It looks like 2. Yeah, we burned boars too. So, it's... that... Oh, and Misha paid for our sins. So right here is where I would tell you again, we're at a comp disadvantage. we don't have the wave clear to deal with the Dragonshire's secret boss very well. Oh, and we really wanted the core stun to connect there. So we're playing this super safe, which is good, because we don't want to try to fight into their camps. But if we had a true wave clear hero, I think we would have been in better shape. Oh, little Valk is walking in.
Here's where we make a mistake play, because Dantra said that he was going Deathmosh, and like we just didn't play around it.
Okay.
And plus Kira was like on our back line here, which we should have just turned in win for her right here, and we just kind of ignored her, and she just smacked our back line.
There must always be a dragon knight.
Oh well, I mean we also get gusted into a wall for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, Mighty Gust is a tough one there at 20. I'll call him back in a second. Let's see what this voicemail says.
Yeah, I called for Death Mosh way earlier. And I guess it only ended up being a one-man Death Mosh though. So not as big of an issue as we thought it was.
Fine, bud.
Yeah, well it might have been more, but we left already, so.
So I missed some of the discussion, so sorry. Because little Valk was in here with my phone showing me a voicemail. But I want to step back in the conversation. So here's your first quiz. What is our mantra?
Do safe things when in danger, and dangerous things when safe.
Okay, so is invading this camp safe or dangerous?
Currently it's looking pretty dangerous.
They're all 5 on the map. They have all their ults. We're in a choke point into we have Deckard, which is probably where we should have led, and they have Falstad Gust. And so for us, it became extremely dangerous. If we think...
When you say Deckard, what do you mean by that, sorry?
So,
I'm the Deckard, so...
Yeah.
Just...
On this wall, you don't actually have to crest the corner in order to use Stay a While. You can stay a while
I don't see your mouse.
That's because you're in Discord. Can you see me drag?
Yep.
Okay. So, right here, this wall, you don't actually have to be around the corner over here. I'm trying not to select units. Deckard's Stay a While, given its range, can reach from over here to be somewhere... Not exact, because this is a square and his is a large concave.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I follow.
And so, if he leads with that, now 2 or 3 of them are shut off, and we're not in a dangerous choke. We can then have everybody else say, "You're it, Kira," and we go after her. But we need to talk about that.
Well, they're on top of a camp. Isn't the camp just going to hit them and wake them up?
Even so... So let's see where we got here. Boom, 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 boom. So yes, they will wake up, but not in the initial moment. So all sleeps have a little bit of a time before they become fragile. But even so, if it's just enough to shake them, that can throw off a team fight. In the military, it's kind of a shock and awe. That's one of the reasons that Varian is so powerful. That's one of the reasons that a blink mosh is so threatening. It's a shock and awe tactic, and people panic. They panic less as they go up the ranks, of course, because they've seen this, they've dealt with this, all of that. But we shouldn't have taken this fight. If we thought they were on their camp, we just take ours and they die in the middle of the lane. No big deal. If we know they're on their camp and we want to be cheeky, we come down here and rip down this wall, rip down the fort. But fighting here in this choke, we got to look at our team a little bit. If we know we can flank and get the Falstad, who we know has the Mighty Gust upgrade, Wind Tunnel, that was a neat.
Did we have vision on Kira? Was she clearing lane up top?
No, because the fort's still up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we kind of see her and honestly just kind of walk past her.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, if
Yeah,
we
I
just kind
think
of
that's
tunneled on the
Oh.
camp,
mostly the mistake we made.
and that
So-
because yeah, we kind of she was right in the back line. She had
Yeah, pretty
free
much
game
once
to.
we come around that corner, Kira's
Yeah.
there, and we kind of just walk past her.
Which
So
yeah, that's
Lubidium
Yeah,
in
I
chat
think
brings
that's
up
a
a
big
good
error.
point as well. Because Deckard has respect the elderly, even if they're woken up, they're silenced
silent.
Yeah,
and
they'll
blind
be-
for 3
yeah.
seconds, which means they have no ability to do damage. None
Yeah.
of their characters have a burning rage, which would be the only thing that is still doing damage while silenced and blinded.
Yeah.
And 3 seconds can be the difference in the team fight. So, all right, let's see. 6. Here is your vision right now. We unpause. And in all of this, so say for example, and okay, Baron's right here. If Baron's right here and he throws this out, that gives Maiev the chance to get into their back line and stop the chances of a wind tunnel because they're silenced for 3 seconds. He's going machine gun, fan of knives, whatever the case may be. But overall, strictly from a strategy standpoint, don't invade this camp. If somebody's dead, invade this camp. If you know they're somewhere where they can't get to it, invade this camp. But we had no vision on the enemy, and we made a gutsy call, which I can appreciate the gutsy call. But we did dangerous things when it's dangerous. And that's when we get slapped.
Now, is it just going by the leading with the sleep over the wall? In that particular situation, we only see Falstad there at the time. We don't necessarily know they're on camp. Is it still something worth throwing out? Because they might not even be there, right? And what's the cooldown on? Like 80 seconds?
Pretty
Your
sure
next
that was the
thing
only
there
thing up. All the
70 seconds.
would be Spirit of Vengeance. If you Spirit of Vengeance, you can check that without committing to a teleport.
Yeah,
right?
I guess I could have cubed 2 over the wall too.
So.
Okay.
But right here, they got 2 kills. They're gonna get the Dragon Knight. They're gonna rush through bottom. I don't even see the end timer, but
Oh yeah, we're done at that point. Yeah, I guess my thinking was that we were winning all the team fights the whole game. So I thought if they're going to be weak on their camp, we could catch them. I don't know if it's just because we poorly executed or the safe play would have been our camp for sure.
yeah, and it's finding the chance and trying to make it happen where we can. We're gonna try something really quick. Oh no, I can't because there's not a sandbox mode. Dang it! And I'm not making you guys wait through a level 10. Yeah, Lubidium in chat is saying they also played well in the camp. They backed off as soon as you came in so that the Deckard and ETC were no longer in range. So
Yeah, that's why I think the cube wouldn't have worked, Bearded. You probably would have spooked him.
Which that would have been fine if they spooked off the camp. While we don't have a true unstoppable that would outlast Mighty Gust, if they completely back off the camp, Andrew dragon arrows them, they're off the camp, and we steal the camp and run. But all of the things we're saying are just ways to try to salvage a situation that we put ourselves in that we didn't have to.
I'm personally going to say that, especially looking back on it and just realizing that they have Falstad at all, I almost think that there's very few situations where actually that camp is a good call.
Yeah.
And
Like it would really have to be like a clear advantage for us. I think just about any 5.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I
I
agree.
even actually, given the fact that they have Falstad at all, I honestly think that would even be a risky camp call, even if they were down. Like even if they were down like 4v5, I think they could actually reasonably defend that camp.
yeah,
Because they would have Falstad.
We
Yeah,
put
that's
ourselves in a
fair.
bad spot. It's unfortunate, but that's why we do replay reviews. We want to be able to learn from it and to say, okay, I'm not I'm not going to make that mistake again. Now, you'll find if you're anything like me, you're going to make that mistake 100 times. Probably more. But that happens, and it's okay. Alright, downloads, Braxis. I have food being delivered any moment, but we can try to speedrun Braxis, or we can spend time going through some questions as far as that one goes.
I say speedrun. It doesn't sound like there's any questions.
I agree on the speed run.
Okay. Braxis, yep, that's you. Alright, let me pull this back up. Alright, Samuro. So, I know Chad better than you know Chad. I know that Chad likes to take Samuro into Rexar and just beat the crap out of Misha, and then Rexar can't do anything.
I think one of the things I noticed, like at the end of the game, I said it, is knowing that they didn't ban Rexar right off the bat when we were going into Braxis. We should have probably guessed that they had a secondary other than Kira as a counter. And that's just hindsight kind of thing, but definitely I feel like something we probably should know since they know we play Rexar.
In our draft, we've also been focusing really heavy on offlane. Is that something we should focus on in drafts, or?
Yeah, like we've been putting
bans.
2 bans into it. We're first picking our offlaner quite often.
We only first picked when we wanted Rexar. Anytime we didn't get Rexar, we were not first picking.
I think we
were
also
last
need to consider
picking.
these 2 maps, probably the 2 most offlane important maps in the entire game.
I just mean in general too. Like other maps we've played, like we've been fairly concentrated on our offlane presence.
Instant way that you're gonna win this map.
Now he tells us, geez, where were you then? Come on, man.
I was admitting the tournament and getting yelled at for that.
Reported.
True.
You're not getting paid this week.
So, look at our comps. How many offlaners does the enemy team have?
One-ish.
One at best.
You can get away with it. Yeah.
That's Samuro. How many offlaners do we have?
3.
Potentially 4, if I'm really stretching.
Yeah, well, if you stretch, so you have to add in Tychus and Joe on their team. We have
I was honestly willing to add them.
You have 2 immediate offlaners on your team.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Rexar.
Yep.
So, you also have the fastest rotating healer in the game. You have one of the highest burst ranged assassins in the game. You have hard crowd control in ETC. So you have Phoenix, he's down here just trying to keep people from sieging the wall too much. You have Rexar, he's doing his Rexar thing. Your 3-man just goes crazy. This is my favorite way to play this map right now. And you run a 1-3-1.
I think that's what we were trying.
That's what we drafted to do.
Yeah.
And you're not going to kill Samuro a lot, but if you can make him back off of Rexar, like that's a win for us. And so we run in there, we scare him off. When he backs up to lick his wounds and does his little hearth trick because balance, we're going to take a camp. So
the short story of it is we try to do that and they react by running a 2-3, which means they're clearing our camps. So we don't really get any we don't pull them off of the lane at any point by doing that. And I think we don't react to that 2-3 with what I believe what counters that is a 4-1. And so we keep running the 1-3 and it doesn't work. because they just outclear us, and the two people in their respective lanes don't get anywhere. Would you agree that that's what stops the 1-3-1 here?
So I think that what I'm seeing right now is we probably just invested too much into it for a second. Like we stopped at this camp, but if we had just come here, we could have forced Joe to use a major cooldown, in this case Iron Skin, 20 seconds, and she's out of the fight, and the rest of the team has to back off too. We clear this camp with Phoenix, then we take our camp. Now their camp's cleared, our camp's moving in. Sure, Joe's got her shield again. Ooh, we got Joe pretty low there.
Oh, we just did everything you described, but on top lane. Just like in the last 30 seconds. But I suppose what you're saying is we could have just done that bot lane.
Yeah,
I think I called for top lane because there's 2 top and there's 3 bot of the enemies. But we do what you just described. That's how we have their camp over there on the left.
Which is fantastic. I think we could have done that bottom as well and gotten both of them and more pressure, because here we've lost this, we've lost Greymane. We're doing alright up here. And we lost the objective. Now
I think
my personal
go ahead, I had a
favorite
question.
is to add Deathwing as the other offlaner, because he's got some pretty good wave clear for the Zerg. Sure, he does more damage to heroes, but
we have him as a potential pick for Jack, because he's pretty much ungankable, and he's got good clear. One of my questions is, after we get our camp, or let's say we get a kill and then we go for a camp or something like that, like we did with that top left camp. At that point, we just shove walls until the next camp pops up somewhere on the map. Is that the correct way to do that?
sorry, I just got a phone call from my brother. I'll get it to you in a few, bud. Okay. So unfortunately, I need you to repeat the question because I can't talk to 3 people at once, and I got distracted.
Oh, that's okay. So earlier we had like pushed them off the lane and grabbed their top left camp. Once all the camps are off the map, we just pressure a lane until the next camp pops up. Is that correct?
Yeah, we take wherever we have the numbers advantage, and we want to make them waste time chasing after us because we rotate faster.
Mm-hmm. So, do you agree that the 2-3 beats the 1-3-1 and forces us to rotate out of the 1-3-1?
Not necessarily, because if we can turn it into where we have a 4v2 and then a 4v3 constantly, and hopefully we're getting some kills too.
Exactly,
Again,
that's exactly what I was just saying. So we rotate out of the 1-3-1 into sort of like a 4-1 and just kind of mismatch them until we force them to react, right? And pull people from the other lanes.
Yeah, that's
then we go back to a 1-3-1.
That's not a 4-1, that's still a 1-3-1, what you're describing. A 4-1 is the 4 just stays bottom.
Gotcha. But the point is to pull people away from the other lanes and get them to react to our group of 4.
Yeah.
And then we can go back to roaming.
They get keep here. They might even end.
I don't think they do, but
I think they
we definitely lose. Oh, they might. Yeah, we lose this game pretty hard if I recall. But yeah, so I think it was because. I think it's because we didn't force them to react, that we were just trying to camp. And we ran into this weird situation where we're like, okay, we grabbed our camps, it's not safe to grab their camps, we need to go for a pick. And so we were just trying to go for the weaker lane, and I suppose maybe we didn't stay there long enough to kind of force them to react. And then yeah, here we just clear until we eventually lose. The snowball has happened.
Yeah, and Braxis is a really early game map. Not that any of our heroes are terribly late game heroes. The Mephisto actually surprises me as a pick, but they've been doing alright with him.
I mean, I think they got a lot of value out of the Mephisto this game too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mephisto's an extremely scary mage. He's probably, in my opinion, the scariest mage, but most people don't invest the time necessary.
Yeah, I just started trying to pick him up recently.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of hard
This
carry
is where it
potential.
ends.
Yeah, this is absolutely game.
Yeah, because Bosco's same lane as Zergwave.
Yep. And we're fucked like hell.
I will
I think-
say to warn you, we're gonna avoid that type of language when I'm streaming to Twitch.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're okay.
You're right.
I didn't tell you before, so that you can't be held accountable for it. So I'm telling you
Okay.
now, so you know for the
Oh,
future.
you're streaming?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons it's so choppy. The other reason is I'm at 4x speed, but because I'm streaming to Twitch, Discord, and 4x speed, it was choppy like crazy. I'm gonna find one of my examples, and I'll get it to you guys of my my running that 1-3-1. I have an example where I'm Garrosh. I have an example where I'm Varian, and I have an example where I'm Deathwing in the off lane. So I will try to find those and get them to you. But I think that we tried to use our 1-3-1 more for camps and not quite enough for kills. Like the point of the 1-3-1 for me is I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna hit someone just like a sack of bricks, and when they're down, then I'm going to take something of theirs. And it's going to be their camp, it's going to be their wall, it's going to be their well, it's going to be their fort until eventually it's over.
Let me ask you this, if you have the time. I don't know if you're about to run.
I am about to run, but it depends on how long your question is.
Okay. In that game, I was concerned that Samuro could get away and Mephisto teleports in and clears in from a safe distance. I was worried that we couldn't get any picks in that lane. But the other lane had Johanna, so I really didn't know what was the best lane to push. Typically, I would think we mismatch numbers-wise against Samuro Mephisto. You think that's the better lane to go as far as pushing, but as far as picks, would it have been better to hit the group of 3?
So Samuro has a way to regulate his health, but Mephisto really doesn't. So when he blinks in, we just slap him around and let him lick his wounds on the other side. Sure, we didn't get a kill, but early game, what does a kill get you? 300 experience? 4? Okay, that's great. That's less than a full wave in either of those scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
But how long are they dead? 6
Yeah, pretty
seconds,
short early game.
8 seconds. Yeah. If somebody backs, do they typically back in lane where you just slapped them around? No, they usually run back for 3 to 5 seconds, sometimes even more, depending on what kind of chase you have or what their structures are like. But early game, we're not going to have that. So they run back for 3 to 5 seconds. How long does a hearth take?
5 seconds.
6 seconds.
6.
And so now they have spent 9 to 10 seconds. When they get there, are they instantly healed? They're not. They get a big heal, but they're not instant full health. So most people tend to sit in the core for a second, or the Hall of Storms for a moment, and they finish regenerating before they come out. So at level 1, does an early game kill feel good? Absolutely. Is this Dota? No. An early game kill doesn't mean jack. Not Jack-U-Ball, but Jack. It doesn't matter. The only reason that we want an early game kill is we want to put the fear of God into the enemy team. You step on my turf, I'm going to slap you around and make you pay for it. It's the only reason we care. It's all about street cred. Does street cred win the game? No. We don't care about B-stepping. We don't care about taunting. We care about winning the game. So, if we can get a kill, great. But we're not going to hang our heads off of getting someone to back because they just wasted as much time, if not more. And if we try to tower dive to kill someone and give them a counter kill, screw that. That's never worth it unless we are down 4 levels, because then the catch-up experience kicks in.
Gotcha.
So, but again, I'll try to find those examples and go through them. It doesn't have to be Deathwing, it doesn't have to be Varian, it doesn't have to be Garrosh. I ran it yesterday with an ETC, and it worked just fine. A Diablo would work just fine. The point is, there's murder on your mind, and you're gonna go after it.
I do Varian too, which is a bit of a bonus, so that can be something that is brought in.
Yeah, it works great. So, apologize that this is so short. We'll get more in. I'm much better late at night most of the time, just schedule stuff, but I tend to be decent about getting things in. We went through 2 replays today. Dontrus got them to me from Saturday's game, so a 4-day turnaround ain't too bad. But we'll keep after it, and we'll have some where this is going to sound a little mean, but I'll shut it down at level 10 and say, you know, I don't care about the rest of it. I want you to learn from this part. So
makes sense.
But pizza's been delivered, so I'm gonna let you go. But thanks everybody.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
No
Bell.
worries.
Thanks.
I hope you brought enough for the whole party. God.
We definitely did. I don't believe in showing up to a party with not enough food.
Good.